everyone, very good morning and welcome to the Master Oops ABAP Day 1 session. Before starting the session, I believe you have created the transport request in your system with this naming convention. Package also you have created using the transaction called SCAT, and for this you were supposed to use either SC09 or SC10, and you have to use this package, you have to use this transport request and this package for your object. So whenever you are creating any class or reports, make sure to save in this package and this transport request, so you will be able to quickly find it out and it will not mingle with others, right? Some ground rule we are having: use only your package and transport for your objects. In case of any question, feel free to ask, but mute from your side once your question is done. Be interactive. That is, if I ask any question, give the answer in the chat box or unmuting yourself. Okay. So with this, the class 1 is having the agenda. Why object-oriented ABAP? The very first agenda, we'll try to understand this one. Then we are having the object-oriented introduction. So both are related to each other. Then different properties of object-oriented ABAP we'll be looking into. We'll be creating one global class and we will understand what is objects, global class and local class. What's the difference between them and how we can create them? What is the instance attribute and what is the static attributes? Then we will see what are the different types of visibility. These are used for the data hiding, for the data security, public, protected, and private. With this agenda, let's start with the first point, why object-oriented ABAP, right? So till now, everyone is able to follow me, right? You all are able to follow me. Just write here in the chat box if it's okay. Why object-oriented ABAP? The very first and important reason is its robustness. You know, it's a robustness. It is robust. It is robust. How you can know that it is robust? I will give you one example. It will make more sense. You know, so let me quickly log into SAP system and there I will show you in a minute. So this is my system, giving my user ID and password. Okay, go to C38 and I have created one program and let's see this program first. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm fetching the data from the Mara table and putting into this internal table. Used new syntax to declare this particular internal table, getting 10 rows using the select query, right? It's very much clear. And using this particular function module, okay, to display the data into list format, ALV list format, right? Very simple. Check the syntax, activate this one, and it got activated. Just run this one and you can see that it's going to give you the data. But if you see here, if I change its some different name, you know, for this particular function module, then also if I check the syntax, there is no error, though this particular function module is not present in SC37, right? If you go and check inside SC37, this will not be there because I'm using some different kind of name, right? This function module is not there. At this point of time, it is not giving me any error. When it will give me error? Anyone? when it will give me error? What do you think? What's your perception?
Runtime error only.
Right, very good. It will give me the error at runtime. Is it robust? Is this programming model is robust? It's going to give me the error at a runtime. So this is not robust, right? At compile time, it's telling, okay, you go ahead, everything is fine, and it's going into dump at runtime. It's cheating at runtime, right? It's 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 doing the unexpected behavior at runtime. What's the meaning of robustness? Meaning of robustness means whatever you can see in front of you in the same way if it is going to behave, the solid development, no dump, nothing. So the more you are going towards the solid kind of development, foolproof development, that concept is known as robustness. It's a robust product, right? Solid product. So this is one problem with the procedural programming with the function module. Use what we are doing. However, function module also we can use for the modularization purpose, right? And object oriented way of doing the programming is also known as very well known for the modularization, right? Using the method we can combine the behavior, we can bundle together the behavior in a method, right? But over this function module, we can prefer to have the method. Why? Due to this reason. Another problem with this function module, I will quickly show you. Here in the structure name, if you just double click on this particular function module and check the import parameter, you just double click over here and see the import parameter. The import parameter is telling that this structure name is of type this. If you double click over here, it is uh, you know of character data type 30, right? So it's a character data type. And if you try to pass it over here some integer data type, can you tell me it is going to give me the error or not? Data type check, is it going to perform the data type check at this point of time, at compile time? It's not going to perform this check. If you click on this check button, it's telling fine, it's okay to go ahead. And when you are going ahead, you can see that it's going into dump, right? So not robust, not going me the full guarantee at the time of development whether it is fine or not fine. On the other hand, in order to display the data, I'm trying to use over here one famous class called CL demo output, very good utility class. And here you are having the display data, this method. Okay, this is robust. Whatever it looks like over here, if it is not going to give you the compile time error, it's going to work fine. Okay, for example, over here, if this data type, if you double click on this particular method, and if you see the importing parameter, it is of type string, right? This is the importing parameter of type string. First one is of type any, so that is fine because that is of type any, you can pass anything over there. But the second parameter is of type string. So you tell me, if we pass it over here to, what it will do? If I check the syntax over here, will it give me the error? Yes, it will give me the error. Check the syntax and see. It's giving me the error, right? So at compile time itself, it's telling you, boss, here you have the error, be careful. And what I will do that, I will put this into the single quotes and I will make it as a string literal. And now if you check, there is no error, right? And at runtime also, it will not give you error. So if you just run this one, see, it's working fine. And the name, what we are passing the two, it's showing over here. So you got the meaning of robustness. This is just a sample example. You may come across many such stuff in the object-oriented ABAP, which will amaze you. Okay, so it is robust. You got the pointer. Why it is robust? Second pointer, security. Security. It is secured. How? It is secure. What happens if you consider about the procedural programming? There you declare the global variable, right? Let's suppose if you are developing one application, or let's suppose if you are developing one report for, you know, purchase order, right? And in that purchase order, let's suppose if you have to access the data for the sales order as well, right? So you are not able to segregate the data, and you can use the purchase order data by mistake in sales order also. The sales order data you can by mistake use in the, you know, sales order, vice versa. You can do the mistake. There is a probability, you know, there is a probability, because there is no any security mechanism at the visibility level, right? Here in class, what you have the three kind of visibility. One is public, another is protected, and another is private. So if you don't want any variable to be used by another class, so here you class compare with a program. Like in program, there is no mechanism how you can, you know, uh, how you can make secure a particular variable to use or not at the other places, right? But if you are going to put the same functionality in the two different classes, you are going to make sure that, okay, that particular variable will be used by that class only. What I'm trying to tell it over here, let's suppose you have the class one over here for sales order purpose, okay? And you have the class two here for the purchase order purpose, right? And you are creating a program. So in those program, you will not be able to mix up the data of purchase order. That means the variable you have declared in the class PO and the variable you have declared in the class ASO, it will not be mixed up. You are going to secure your data from the different application. That's the beauty of, you know, object oriented methodology. Okay. But if you have the procedural programming, everything we're going to mix it up. Are you able to follow me this concept? Am I making sense? Just write over here yes if you were able to follow me. Fine. Thank you. So here, let's go to point number 3. What is the point number 3? This object-oriented approach, if you see, this object-oriented, here you have, you know, two important terms. One is object and second is oriented. What is object? What do you understand from the object, right? I am an object, you are an object, real-time object. Here the meaning of object means real-time object. This laptop is an object, this PPT is an object. Whatever you can see from your eye, everything is a real-time object. And if you watch out the behavior of the real-time object, you know, they will be having the properties and they will be having the what? Each and every object is having their properties. For example, I'm an object, right? I'm having my name, I'm having my age, I'm having my profession, right? And what is my behavior? So each and every object is made up of two stuff. One is data, right? That means the properties. Data means properties, okay? And another is behavior. What is my behavior? How I walk, how I talk, right? These all are my behavior. How I teach, this is my behavior. The function which I perform. Each object, car, its name, right? Its brand, its how many, like what's its color, length. It is their attributes, properties. Properties and attributes both are same, right? Then their functionality, how the car runs, how speed it is running, right? So functionality. So every object is having its own properties and behavior. That's what I'm trying to tell it over here, right? So That's the another point over here. That means, you know, it you are able to combine, right? You are able to encapsulate. You are able to encapsulate the properties and methodology into a single box, into a single package, right? So this is how. But if you take a procedural programming way of doing the program, you don't have anything over there where you can put the data and functionality together. However, you have the function module, but that is having the drawback, right? Function module we can use for putting the data and functionality, but you cannot put the event over there, right? You cannot put the interface over there. There can be other stuff also, right? You cannot use the alias over there, right? So this is, so encapsulation, like the data plus behavior plus event. Any object can perform the event also, right? Then any object can have its alias name also, right? So these are the things why object oriented is number one choice, or should be number one choice for any developer. Already it's the number one choice for the SAP. SAP is promoting object oriented ABAP like anything. Okay, fine. Fourth point over here is all the object. If you see, let's suppose a man, a father is having a relationship with his daughter, right? With his son is having the son and father relationship, right? With wife, he is having the, you know, husband and wife relationship. So one people is going to, you know, look in the different way. One people is there in the different way. Father, brother, you know, so uncle, right? So different one people you are able to see in the different forms, right? And that's where in object oriented ABAP, one method, or one class, specifically we can say that one method you can use in the a different way using the concept called polymorphism. Okay, so polymorphism. So in object oriented ABAP, using the polymorphism, poly means many, morphism means form, right? So one method can be used in the different forms. Okay, we will be looking into all this detail, okay, in more detail. Okay, fine. The fifth point, it is having very powerful functionality of you know this encapsulation. We can also tell as the modularization. You have the method over there through which you can modularization. Encapsulation, you are encapsulating everything, and modularization, more specifically we are talking in terms of methods over here. Okay, methods for the modularization. Polymorphism you got. Then another very important stuff with the object oriented programming is there, that you can achieve any kind of design pattern which you can think of. With the procedural programming there are a lot of limitations, but with object oriented you can develop, you can think of any kind of design pattern. Some of the popular design pattern which we use, singleton, right? Very powerful design pattern, very frequently used, right? Factory design pattern, we have abstract factory design pattern. There are many, decorator, observer, right? But these are some design patterns which we use very frequently. This we are going to look into more detail in our upcoming classes, right? Fine. Then inheritance, right? A son can inherit its father property, right? Real-time object, if you see, in the real-time object, if you see, everywhere inheritance you will be able to find, right? A computer is having every time its own next version. Version 2 is going to inherit from the version 1. Similarly, the car. So everything, whatever you can resonate with the real-time object, all the concept here in the object-oriented way of programming is going to be there. So one of the very important stuff over here, inheritance. So hope you understood why object-oriented ABAP is so powerful. Just write here in the chat box if you are able to understand and you are able to follow me. Now we are going to the second topic of the day, object-oriented programming introduction. So this why oops and oops introduction both is like similar topic, and hope you understood well. We are going to discuss about the different properties of oops. Okay. So oops under introduction you got. Let me put it over here. Only this object-oriented is nothing but methodology of object-oriented is not a programming language. Okay, object oriented is not a programming language. ABAP is your programming language. ABAP is your programming language. Object oriented is a methodology to do the programming. Okay, means how we are going to do the programming. This is a concept. This is a concept. Okay, now different types of different properties of OPS. Can you tell me what are the different properties of any object-oriented programming language? Just we had discussed over here. Still, I would like you to tell over here in the chat box, what do you think? Just we have discussed some major property which you know already. Keep on writing over here if you know what is the different types of object-oriented property, oops, programming properties, right? Very good. Polymorphism, right? Other inheritance, abstraction, encapsulation. Awesome. Super. So let's quickly note it down over here. The different types of properties. Okay. The very first one, we over here encapsulation. Then the second one we are having over here, data hiding. Third one is having the abstraction. The fourth one, which we are having the inheritance. And the fifth one, which we have is polymorphism. Okay. The fifth one, we are having the polymorphism. We will understand these properties in little more detail as just what we have discussed in why object-oriented ABAP. Okay. So encapsulation, you understood, just we have discussed, putting the data and functions together. Putting the data means properties, right? Data means properties basically, and behavior, that means functions together. And that's where your class concept come into picture. Okay, that's where. So one class is combination of what? Class is a combination of properties, right, plus behavior, properties, behavior plus events, right? You can have the interface over there also. So this is what putting the data and functions, events also we can write it over here. All these things what we are writing, right? etc together. This is the meaning of encapsulation. This is the meaning of encapsulation, right? So yeah, and now the data hiding. What is the meaning of data hiding? Data hiding means, just we discussed, visibility means if I want to, if I want to use my data inside that class only, that is possible over here using the private keyword. If you want your data to be used by your son only, by the inherited class only, that is also possible using the protected. And if you want your data to be used by anything, if you want to make it a public property, that is also anyone can use, uh, public. The keyword is the public. We are going to discuss in more detail. Okay, nothing to worry. So visibility, that is the data hiding. Abstraction. What is this abstraction? What is this abstraction? Abstraction means, hiding the method implementation. What is this method implementation? What is this method implementation? Writing the code inside, whatever you write the code, writing the code inside the method. Okay. Whatever you write the code inside the method, and when you activate it, it is known as method is implemented. You can hide that. You can hide that using the concept of what? Using the concept of abstract class and interface. Okay, we'll be looking into this, how you can achieve the abstraction. Okay. Inheritance. Inheritance. What is inheritance? Inheritance, we all know very well, right? Our son inherit the property from the father, right? Son inherits the property from the father. Next version of any product inherits the property from the previous version of its, right? So inheritance means uh, you know receiving the attributes and properties from father. Okay, from the father, or this father is also known as here in the superclass. Okay, this is known as in the object oriented superclass. This is the meaning of inheritance. There are two types of inheritance in object oriented ABAP. Okay, who will tell what are those? What are the two types of properties in the object oriented programming methodology? Who will tell? Right here in the chat box fast, if you know what are the different types of inheritance in object oriented. I believe some of you at least must be knowing. So keep on writing. Be interactive. Interaction increases your focus, and focus increases your learning. So keep on writing. Be interactive. Fine. So the very first one is what? Multi-level inheritance. Multi-level inheritance. Second one, multiple inheritance. Multiple inheritance. We are going to discuss both the concept in very much detail. Okay. Then the polymorphism. And one more thing before going ahead, let me tell you. Do you know ABAP does not support both kind of inheritance? One of these only supported by ABAP. Do you know what is that? Do you know what is that? Any one of you? Only multi-level inheritance is going to be supported by ABAP. Okay. Multiple inheritance is directly not supported. You have to use the concept. There is a workaround. The trick is using the interface only. We can use the multiple inheritance. First, we will understand what is the multi-level inheritance. under the inheritance section. Okay. And then I will make you understand, you know, with the help of example, how multi-level inheritance we can achieve, and what's the difficulty we face when we try to achieve the multiple inheritance, and what's the workaround for this. Okay. Polymorphism, I told you, poly means what? Poly means many, right? You remember. And morphism means what? Forms. It's different forms, right? Different forms. One method is going to be have like a different forms. One object is going to, you know, behave in the different forms. How many types of polymorphism? You know, what are the different types of polymorphism? Anyone over here? There are two types of polymorphism. One is overloading and another is overriding. This also we are going to discuss. One thing you should know, overloading is not supported by object-oriented ABAP. Okay, not supported. Only overriding. You can't achieve with any workaround also. There is no workaround for this overloading. That's why I'm putting into red. This can be achieved at least with some workaround, multiple inheritance. That's why I put into yellow, right? Overriding is the property. Overriding is achievable easily because they have given the, you know, in ABAP it is possible. They have given the way to achieve, right? Fine. Till here, all these properties, the 5 properties I have written, I would request you everyone to write one property here in the chat box, right? Just 1 or 2 property, right? By watching over here, encapsulation, data hiding, abstraction, inheritance, polyforms, any 2 property, just write here in the chat box and let me know, did you understand this concept, at least the summary of the object-oriented properties? Okay, fine. So just write 1 or 2 properties. I'm waiting for your response, and then we will go to the next topic called class and objects. And I believe most of you, we are waiting for this particular topic, right? Class and objects. So class, as I told you, that class is nothing but, if you discuss about the class, this class is nothing but it is a user defined data type. It is a user defined data. What is the meaning of user defined data type? What is the meaning of user defined data type? See, if you remember in the report, ABAP report, we write types begin of ts underscore mara, then we write a matner type, matner, then we type mtart type, mtart, and then we write over here like this, end of ts underscore mara. What is this? This is my structure, right? This is what? This is how we define the structure. Who defines? User defines. This data type is defined by whom? It is defined by me. It is not given by this ts underscore mara is not given by the SAP. I am the creator of this particular data type. However, I'm using the inbuilt data type, right? I'm using the inbuilt data type. This matnat is the data element given by SAP, right? This mtart is the data element given by SAP, right? So this is also, in fact, this is not the inbuilt data type. You know, this is also a kind of user defined data type only. Inbuilt data type will come like int1, you know, int1, then char2, right? So this is the very at the very atomic level, right? Who has which is given by SAP, which you can't create. Int1 can you create? No, you can't create, right? Matner, Z matner we can create, Z mtart we can create. This is the standard data element, right? It will also come under the category of user defined data type, which have been created by, however, SAP, right? But this int1, character2, numc, all these are defined at the atomic level. It is It is the foundation of ABAP programming, right? Foundation of ABAP programming. So this is not the user defined data type. This is the inbuilt data type. Okay. These are the user defined data type. These are the user defined data type, right? This is structure TS underscore Mara is user defined data type. That's the meaning of user defined data type. Okay. Means which you can create. So similarly, class is a user defined data type having members and functions. Okay. Members means attributes. Here we can write it attributes and functions. Functions means method, attributes and method. So here we tell like attributes and method. That's why I have corrected its name. You know, if you see in another programming language, just I'm going to give you some quick idea over here. You know, so if you check some other programming language, for example, C++. C++ is also an object-oriented programming language, right? We all know. So here, actually, the attributes is known as the members and the methods is known as the functions. Okay. Then, if you talk about the Java programming language, Java is also an object-oriented programming language, right? You all know Java, .NET. These all are the different object-oriented programming language. Here in Java, the members are known as the instance variables, right? If you have done the programming in the Java, you might be knowing. And this is methods, right? So different terminology in the different programming used. Here we use the attributes, okay? And for the methods, for the function, we use the methods over here, right? Is it clear for everyone? Just type yes in the chat box if you are able to follow me, okay? Fine. Now, we are going to see the global class and local class. First, let me create one class. Enough theory part we are done with. Let me create one class quickly and show you how a class look like. So /n. What is the transaction to create a class? What is a transaction to create a class? If you want to create a class, the code to create a class. Who will tell? SC24, right? You are an ABAPer, right? So you must be knowing this transaction at least. So SC24 is the transaction to create the class. Whenever you create a class, what's the mandatory stuff which we are supposed to follow? What's the naming convention we must supposed to follow? It either must be start with Z, CL or YCL, right? It must be starting with ZCL or YCL. If you don't start with ZCL or YCL, it will not allow you to create. Okay, so you must have to start with Z and Y. You already know, right? For creating any custom object, we must have to what? We must have to start with either Z or Y because this is the customer namespace. It is left by SAP for using for our purpose, right? So let me create one class ZCL underscore OO ABAP underscore demo1. Okay. So click on this create button and description you can give over here. Demo1 and here three different types of visibility over here, you know. Here you can see the instance generation. How do you want to control of instance generating the instance? I will show you what is actually the instance generation. Instance generation is nothing but how you can create the object of a class. Okay, that's the meaning of instance generation. So simply class is not your actual executable object. Okay, you have to have the what instance of the class, and that instance of the class is known as the object. We'll be looking into more detail, and this is how you can control of generating the instance of the class. So you can have the control use by selecting of this. I want to generate the instance anywhere. Why? Because I would like to use this program in my this class in my program. So if I'm going to set it public, then only I will be able to access this one, right? I have to make it a public property, then only I will have to I will be able to access in the report. Otherwise it won't be possible. Here just to focus some important point. Class type. The very first type is the normal class. Second type is the exception class. We are going to see in the coming section. Persistent class. The third type is this one, the persistent class. Maybe I'll be sharing for this the video, or you can refer the YouTube video I've created already for the persistent class in detail, and then the test class. So these are the 4 different types of class we are having. Okay, these first 2 we are going to discuss into our course, and we will see what is the exception class and what is normal class. The one which we are creating right away, this is the normal class. Click on this save, and here one another term you have, final. What is the meaning of final? Final means this particular class you will not be able to inherit into by it won't be able to be inherited by its child class, by its subclass. So it will make more sense when I will come into the inheritance chapter. So final means it is final. You won't be able to inherit now. That's the meaning. We'll again understand in the next chapter of the inheritance, right? Let me clear this one and go here, click on the save button. Package. I have already created the package JOABAP. You people have to also create your own package. Click on the save button and let me ABAP master. This is the package I have created. Click on this OK and fine. Methods. Here you can see, just have a focus. What are the different stuff you are bundling together in a particular class? This is your class name, right? Here you have the properties, you have the interface, you have the friends class section, you have the attributes, you have the methods, you have the events, right? You have the different types. You can define your different types also. And here you have the aliases. All these things we are going to learn in very much detail. Okay, fine. So in properties, what it will be there? See here, instance generation, final, all these things. Message class, you can define whatever message number and message ID you want to use. So all let's suppose if you want to use a message number of a particular message class only, so that message class you can put it over here, and when you are giving the message in the method, you don't have to mention every time the message class. It will automatically take the message number of this particular message class. Okay, is it clear for you, or do you want me to show this particular stuff with an example? You can let me know. I will show you with example also. Okay, interfaces, we are going to see the interface. Just hold on. Okay, and friends, attributes, methods. Let's focus on these 2 parts, on attributes and methods. I'm going to define one global attribute over here. Let's suppose gv underscore. Any question, anything, then only you unmute, otherwise mute from your side. Okay, just I muted. If you have question, you unmute. Background noise was coming, that's why I have muted. Okay, so gv underscore, let's suppose attribute over here. This is a demo class. I'm just putting some attribute, for example, name I'm putting. Okay, it's very simple example. And the label, what is this label? So if you press F4 here, you can see that instance attribute, a static attribute, and constant attribute. Let's put it instance as of now. Visibility, I want to make it public. Okay, and the typing over here, let it be type only. Here you will get the 2 option. Okay, here we are having the basically 4 options: type, like, type ref to, and this is the new option. Okay, earlier only these three was there. This is the latest one added by. This is having the different meaning. We'll discuss that. Let's see this. Put this type. Associated type. We can give the car 25 maybe. Okay. Yeah, we are going to discuss in very much detail about the interface. In very much detail. In very much detail about the interface. Interface is the heart of object-oriented programming. Whatever the design pattern you have, you will be able to achieve with the help of either interface or abstract class. Interface is very important, very, very important. Polymorphism, which plays key role into achieving the polymorphism. Interface, right? Interface and abstract class. Mostly we use the interface, right? We are going to discuss in very much detail. Don't worry, okay? After this course, you are going to be a pro object-oriented developer. Okay, all my experience I have put it over here while creating this course. So we are going to learn in very much detail. Fine. So gv underscore name type instance variable. This is how we can declare the attributes. Let's suppose one another attributes gv underscore age. I want to give it over here. Just keeping it simple as of now. In coming classes, we are going to see the real time example related with SAP, like the purchase order, sales order, delivery, invoices. Okay. So here int one I can give it, right? Just save it and go to these methods. So here I want to, put one method called set name. I want to set the name. Okay. Label. Again, the label over here, put as an instance method, and the visibility we will put the public, and the description you can give the set name, right? And another method, see, and how we can doing data security, right? When we have, this is also one part of the data security. You are securing your value, means you are making sure to use a particular value inside this class only. That's where we are using the set name and a get name, right? It will become more clear. Okay, it will become more clear. So this is the public and this is the get name, right? Very simple example. What I did, I created some attributes over here, and here I have created one method. Let me create two more method for setting the age. Set age. However, directly also you can do, but this is the recommended way. Okay. So instance directly how to do, I will show you that. It's very easy. Instance method, the public, and the public. You can simply write pub, pub. You can simply write ins, ins, and when you press enter, automatically it will take. Okay. So set age and get age. Save it, check the syntax over here, activate this one, and your class is ready. How simple to create a class. How simple to create a class. Now I want to, you know, I want to test this class. Okay. I want to test this class. One more method I'm going to create called print name, so that I can print, just print, just print. And I want to print it, and here in this print, I will write, let's put it instance method and public over here, right? So set name, get name, set age, get age, print. So in this print, let me click on this yes button, and you have to print it, right? So just simply the global variable which I'm setting, I want to print. So I'm not setting any parameter over here. So global variable was gv underscore name and gv underscore age, right? Check the syntax, activate this one. Okay, just to go back, check the syntax once again, activate this. Okay, so For the set name, we can have the parameter, then only we'll be able to set the name, right? For getting the name, again, you can have the parameter, right? So this I will show you quickly, but let me print already I have implemented. This is known as the method is implemented, right? This is known as method is implemented. I've written some piece of code and activated. That means this method is implemented, right? This method, is this method implemented? Is this method implemented? Who will tell? Is it implemented or not? Venkat is telling no, right? Other people? See, this method is also implemented. You can see that you are able to commit over here, though we have not written any code, but this method is implemented. If it is active and if you are allowed to write some code, that is the meaning of that means this method is implemented. This is known as empty implementation. This is known as empty implementation. How you can identify if the implementation is done or not? You can go inside the method and you can see that it should be active and you were allowed to do some to write the code. By the way, code is not written, and that's why it is known as empty implementation, because there is no code. Okay, so in abstract class, your method will not be allowed to, if you mark a method as abstract method, then you will not be allowed to implement that one. So it will be clearly visible that it is not implemented. Right? But here just I'm giving you tips. It should be active over here, right? And then here you will be allowed to write some piece of code. So that method is implemented, but the thing is that it is empty. That's it. Fine. What I want, very basic requirement over here, /OSC38, and let's create one program, ZOO ABAP demo1. Click on this create button and write OABAP demo1. Type is executable and click on this save button. Then save it and save it. So here, please mute from your side. You have to mute from your side if you are not speaking. Okay, fine. So now come over here, and what I want to do, my requirement is over here to pass the value to the class and print it, right? Means using the class, we have to print the value, which class just I have created. So I want to print the, name and age, name and age, GV name and GV age. This is just I want to print without using this set name, set age, or get age. Okay, how to do that? Come over here. First, you have to create the object of a class. Okay. First step, what you have to do? First step is to create the object of the class. Okay. Just one thing, a quick check. Is it clear for you, or are you getting confused? Do you want me to delete this as of now? Is it creating any confusion? These 4 methods, just I have put it. If it's creating any confusion, just let me know. I will delete it, and again, if it is required, I will put it. Okay. Is it clear for everyone? Very good, very good. Thank you for the confirmation. Okay. So just I'm not using these 4 methods, only the print functionality I'm using. Okay. So come over here, and first step is to create the object of the class. So see, when you have to create the object, the very first object, you have to give the name of that particular object, right? So first step, there are 2-step process in order to create an object. One, you have to do the naming ceremony. Okay. You have to give the name. You have to give the name of the object. Okay, and then the birth of the object will happen. Here process is opposite. First you have to give the name and then the birth will happen. Birth in the sense you are going to allocate the memory for the object. Okay, you are going to allocate the memory for the object. So two-step process. The first is what? Naming ceremony, and then the second one is the allocating the memory. How you do this one? How you do this one? So creation of objects is done by two ways. So I want to create one object. Okay. Any data object, when you create in ABAP, which keyword you use? If you have to create any data object, any variable, which keyword we use? Data keyword, right? Data keyword for any data object, any variable. Data object is nothing but variable, right? So using the data object, data keyword, I'm going to give the name of the object. Okay. So geo underscore demo1 type ref2 the class name ZCL OABAP, right? It was OABAP demo1 full stop, right? This is how we create the name of an object by referring the class, okay, with the reference of a class. So name we have given. Now you have to create the object in the second step. So we write this particular keyword, create object geo underscore demo1. And now your object is ready and you can use it, right? So your object is going to have the same structure what it is there in this class. Means in this class is having the attributes, in this class is having the methods. That means this object is also going to have the attributes and methods, right? Everything, whatever it is there, this attributes, methods, events, types is not, uh, executable object, but as a reference it will be present, right? Alias, everything is, there in this particular, allocated module. So this is your real runtime object, geo underscore demo1. Now what is my requirement? My requirement is to put the variable in this attribute, right? gv underscore name and gv underscore age, and to print that, right? So I'm just going to give some value demo1, and how you can access a particular attribute, right? So geo underscore demo1 geo, it's a geo, okay, it's a geo. Some people use gr, you can use the gr also, okay. I'm using geo because this is the object. R also you can use because you are creating the reference also, so both is fine. Many places gr you will be able to see, or lr you will be able to see, the thing is same. I use geo. So geo underscore demo1 control space, if you see all these properties, all these components of this particular object is appearing over here, right? What is this? Get age is what? Method. I have not written any code, so I won't like to use it over here, right? Get name and all. This is, see here, if you see here, the circle kind of stuff is coming, right? So this circle kind of stuff, if it is coming, that's the meaning of this, means this is a what methods, okay. This is the another methods, this is methods, and this blue color thing will represent you the attributes. And how this will get? Control space, you just have to do the control space and it will give you all the possible attributes what it is having and methods. So I want to first set the attribute name. Age is what? Age, it was the integer data type, so just I'm using 20, okay. And then another property, it was there z demo1, another was what? Name, correct? So just we can use the name over here, give the name, something name we will give Johnny. and I just want to print it. So write it and I want to print. How you can print? Same we can use. Copy this and comma and copy this. This is how you can access the property. Simple, right? You understood how to access the property of a object, right? And we can activate this one, right? And we can print this one, or let me first print this, and you can say 20 and Johnny is printed, correct? Let me put the breakpoint over here and I will show you how it's creating the object. Press F8. At this moment, just a reference we have created. See, it will be in a curly braces. Any object, either in JavaScript or Java or any programming language you take for a chance, it will be there inside the curly braces. Okay. If anything is there inside a curly braces, that means that is the object, not only here, anywhere. But this is initial. That means memory is not allocated at this point of time. When the memory will be allocated, when the birth of the object will take place. This is just the name. This is just the name. Okay. Tell me when you will press F5 or F6 over here, it will trigger this GO demo 1, and here the memory allocation is present, right? You can see that this memory is allocated, not initial. And you are now at this moment, if you see, there is no value 0, just because the integer data type, so its initial value it's taking, right? F6, this is 20, and the GV name now the Johnny is, and here we are printing, right? Press F8 and it is getting printed. I believe it's fine. You are able to understand. Very good question. So like this, you have to ask the question as a Venkat is asking. Venkat is asking that, what is the meaning of this? This is known as properties selector or method selector. This is a selector, means with the help of this particular symbol, I'm accessing the property this of the object this, right? You should have some symbol, right? Means simply, if you just write like this, system will get confused, right? Geo demo 1, GV, system will not be having, the system is the system, a machine, right? Machine should be having some instruction to understand, right? So this is just to access the property. Is it okay, Venkat? Fine. This is again the property. Very good. Now I have created one method called print method, right? So why not to use that print method in order to print this output? Because in print also I have put the same code, right? GV name and GV age I am printing. So how to access that method? Okay, how to access that method? So instead of writing it over here, we can access that method unnecessarily. Why to write the code, right? So we can reuse the code in many different program also. So I'm going to call the method. So geo underscore demo 1, and
One is missing, sir.
yeah, thank you, Lakshmi. Control space, and here we have the print. Just shift enter. See, to call a method, we have the different way of calling the method. This is the first way. Okay, this is the first way. Just using the object. This is what? Second way, you can write call method, and the method name is what? Geo underscore demo 1. So complete name will have to give, and print. So control space, and then you have to select it, or if you remember, you can type it directly. Activate this one. So this is the second way. Fine. I think this is 2-way is sufficient. Okay. 2 ways mainly we use this 2 ways. Activate this and got activated now. So 2 times it will be printed. This data will be also printed, and this data will be also printed. So just to differentiate. I'm just putting the U line over here. First this, and one, skip. Uh, I will write one new line also, so that in the next line it will appear. Okay. Now press F8 and you can see that Johnny 20 and Johnny 20, right? First method is printing this one, and the second, that means first way of calling the method, same, giving the same result, and second way of calling the method is also giving the same result. So two ways by which you can call the methods. Okay, fine. So one simple program we have seen. Now the class which I have created, is it the global class or local class? Who will tell? The class which I have created, is it the global class or local class? So it's the global class. Yeah, it's the global class. You can access anywhere this class. You can access this class anywhere in this particular system. Okay. Any report or in any other class also you can use this one, because I have set the property as public. Visibility I have set as a public. So you can use anywhere this one. This class means you can generate the instance anywhere and you can use. Okay. You can generate the instance anywhere and you can use this one. Fine. Now, let's suppose this class is private. Okay. Let's suppose if this class is private, just I'm saving it and trying to, activate it. Let us see. It got activated. Okay. Now, if you come here and check the syntax, see what it is telling. An instance of the class cannot be created outside the class. Why? Why? Because I have set just it as a private. And system is telling, if you want to create the instance of this class, create here in this method only. Like in this print only, you have to create. It will not allow you to access outside of the class. Right? This is a different object. Report is a different object. And here I'm trying to instantiate that it is not allowed. So private class, you won't be able to instantiate. Still, if you want to access a method of a class, then how you can do? Only one way is there to do this. Only one way is there to do this. Okay. These attributes you have to make as a static attribute. This attribute you have to make as a static attribute. Okay. This method which you are using, you have to make the static method, right? So if you see, instance generation is private, means object creation is private, but this class you can use. You cannot create the object of this class the way I'm doing over here, right? It is not possible because I have set the instance generation as a private, right? But this class we can use. So I'm going to copy this class and directly I would like to use this class instead of creating the object. That is possible only in case of what? That is possible only in case of what? If you have the static attribute or static methods. Okay. So come here, go into the change mode, and now observe here. I'm going to comment this. Okay. Because it will not allow, it will give you the error. Okay. So I'm going to comment this. Comment this. Comment this. I want to set the age and I want to set the name directly using the class. So give the class name over here and give the class name over here. But if the Attribute is a static, right? You won't be able to access with this symbol. Symbol you have to use the different. What symbol you have to use? This symbol, equal sign we are having. Earlier it was the single hyphen, right? Earlier it was hyphen. Now you have to use the single equal sign and this. Okay. So here also you'll have to do the same. So this is what you can access, and the method also, the print method also I have made the static, right? If you remember, see this print method also I have made the static. So to access any static component, we have to use this symbol. If you try to use the hyphen one, it will give you the error. Okay. Now if you check the syntax, here it's telling what? Why it's giving me the error here? Gdemo1 is unknown. What I'm supposed to write? Anyone? What I'm supposed to write?
Class name.
Very good. I'm supposed to write the class name over here. So copy this and just paste it over here, because just I told you our class is private, right? Instance you cannot generate. So directly you can use the what? Class name. So what is this call method? And here why it's giving me the error? We have to use this, right? We have to use this. Like this we have to access. Check the syntax now. Activate this one, got activated. And again some error. Let's see what's the error now. Method is attribute can only be specified with static attributes. Attribute can only be static attributes. That is fine. Okay. So just go here and go to, okay, let's try to activate from here. It's giving us the error. Why class attribute can only be specified with a static attribute? Yes, the attribute which we have declared, this is now a static, right? Oh, we have not activated. Okay, let's activate this one. This was not activated. The print one was not activated. That's the reason. Come here and try to check once again the syntax. Go to check and try to check this. And now it's fine, right? You can see that now it's working fine, and just run this one. And you can see that again, you are able to see the same output, right? Got the point how I'm doing? You got the idea. And just 5 more minutes and I will tell you the most important topic of today's class. Most important topic. What is that most important topic? Instance and static, just you have seen. But what is the technical difference? What is the technical difference between this instance and static? You might be knowing already, but some people over here might not be knowing. So let's discuss this one in more detail, right? Instance attribute and static attribute. So whenever this instance attribute comes into picture, it will be accessible only through the object. It can be accessed only through the object. Object, you know, right? Just I have created the object using the create object, this, right? Create object. So instantiation, this process is also known as instantiation. Okay, create object is also known as instantiation of this particular class. Okay, so whenever you have an instance attribute, you will be able to access only through the object. You will not be able to access through the class name. You can see that I'm accessing through the class name, but this particular object is now I have declared as a static attribute. If you mark this as a instance attribute, you will not be able to this one is what? A static attribute. So a static attribute you will not be able to access through what? Instance sorry sorry. This is correct. It can be accessed only through the object, okay, not by the class name. This is fine, not by the class name, okay, not by the class name. So let me put it not by the class name. Fine. Let's not get confused.
Excuse
Here,
me.
yeah,
Excuse me.
yeah.
In the first topic instance, you
Sorry.
use there the operator, right? Equal
Yes.
or
Mm-hmm.
than, but I have to be used the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's different, right? This is static,
This
right?
is
No, it's
static, right? This is
right.
static. Yeah,
So the operator there.
yeah. A static
Okay,
operator.
okay, go to the PowerPoint.
Yes.
In the PowerPoint, you are using this in instance.
No, no. This is just for, let me put like
Okay,
this. Okay.
okay, okay.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
confused.
Yeah. Thanks for,
So,
it was creating the confusion. Thanks. So instance, it can be accessed only through the object, not by the class name. This is the point. And instance operator is what? Instance operator is this one. Okay. And a static component you can access both the way means through the class name as well as the object name. You can access. So if you have, sorry, something I'm doing the mistake. Instance, let it put it over here. Go directly to the class, double click, and you have the class over here, right? And if you go into the change mode, already I am here in the change mode. Let's come here, and this print, yeah, I'm fine. This is fine. This is okay. Let me show you first and then I will write. Okay. So go to the properties, and here make now the public. Okay. Now I'm making it public. Okay. Just be focused. I'm making now public, and if you click on the save button and check button and activate this, and now go to the program. Just from here we'll go to the program. Just go back, go into the change mode, and now we are going to create the object. Okay, now we are going to create the object. So here, can you tell me now the question from you, will you be able to access this property with the help of this object? Now the object is also there, right? I want to access this static property through the object. Just read out this one, what I'm telling it over here. Okay, just read it out. A static you can access both the way. That means that means
use the class name.
yeah, using the class name as well as what? As well as the object name. Okay, using the class and object, both the way you can access the static, right? So now tell me, will you be able to access? This is the static attribute. This is a static attribute. Will you be able to access through this? Who will tell? Yes or no? Right here in the chat box, or tell fast. Is it possible?
We have to go through the object, right?
Right.
So
Yes,
to mention only the variable, I don't think so. Okay, we can access.
we can access, right? We can access this one. We can access this one. We can access this one. So just you copy this one, and if you put it over here and see,
We have to change the property for print method.
right? So here you can just give it and check the syntax. See, there is no error, right? So what you understood, a static can be accessed through both the way, using the class name as well as the instance name. But The instance won't be able to access using the class name. So you got the point. Now the technical difference. This is from the using point of view. This is from the
Sir,
using
one
point
doubt,
of view.
sir.
Mm-hmm.
When class is protected, private, then
Mm-hmm.
it can't be accessed, sir. When it is
You
public,
will not
then
be able to create the instance, right? If the class is private, then you will not be able to create the instance. Then how you will be able to access, right? Means if you are able to create the object, then you will be able to access. Getting the point?
my doubt is that this static is there now.
Mm-hmm.
First class is properties is private. Then
Mm-hmm.
you access through class name.
Mm-hmm.
You make it public and
Now also you can
both.
access through the class name. If it is public, now also, if you just put it over here. So
But
now,
if it is private, we can't access through objects, sir.
But the
because you
method
will not be able to create the object, right?
Okay,
If it
okay.
is the private, you will not be able to create the object.
That
Then
time we
how?
have to use class name compulsory.
Right.
Okay, okay, okay.
If the
Thank you.
static method is there, then you will have to use the class name, right? If a static method is not there, if instance method is there, there is no way of using that class. You won't be able to use. If the class is private and in your property, none of the property is instance property, you won't be able to use that class outside of that class. In the report, you won't be able to use. Okay, getting the point?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See this. Here you can see I'm using the class name also, and I'm using the object also. It will allow me, it will not give me any error, right? You can see that it's not giving any error. Fine. Now come to the point over here. Yeah.
hold on.
Mhm.
Excuse me. Can you go to the SE24, please?
Yeah. You want me to go back to SC24?
Yes,
Okay.
I'd like
Yeah.
to see because
Mm-hmm.
okay, it's engineer and through the attributes
Mm-hmm.
for the methods where we are going to see the static attribute. In the methods, the print is static or is a instant.
Mm.
Is static, why we don't use the other operator? Why the system is not getting error?
Sorry, what's your question?
Go to the code. In here, print is static, right? If for
Oh, one
static,
second.
we have to use the other operator.
That's what I'm telling you. If you have the static, you can access through the instance as well as class name also, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So see, if it is something static, you can access through the object as well as the class name. What's your doubt?
Okay. In this line, you highlighted, it has the class name with the operator, right, equal, and greeting done, right?
Yeah,
And the
this.
last line, we have the same, okay, call method for, okay, for the object.
Okay.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
No problem. Welcome. So now here, the technical difference. What is the technical difference? See, whenever you create the instance, let's suppose here we are having the, this particular class. So I'm creating the object of this particular class. Okay. I'm creating the object of. So let's suppose I'm creating 3 objects of this particular class. We are creating 3 objects. One more I'm going to create. Okay. So 3 objects. Object 1, focus here, very important concept. If you understood this one, 50% of object-oriented programming you are done. Okay. So here, object 1, here this is object 2, and here this is object 3. Okay. Please mute from your side.
I'm telling you.
Object 1, object 2, and object 3. Now you have to tell me. You have a instance variable over here. Okay. Let's suppose age over here, and age equal to 20, right? So all this object 1, object 2, object 3, will be having the 3 different memory associated, right? 3 different memory will be associated. Whenever you create the object, 3 different memory will be associated. Let's suppose for this object 1, you are setting the value what? Object 1, you are setting the value age 20. Okay, for this first one. Now for the second one, you are setting the 30 over here. Now the third one, you are setting the value 40 over here. Okay, so you have to give the answer. Okay, so be focused here.
But excuse me,
Mhm.
you should put object 1, object 2, object 3.
Yeah, sorry, thank you. Object 2 and here the object 3. So all these 3 object, I'm setting the name, setting the age with the different value. Now this is what? This is the instance, right? And this age is your this age is your, let's suppose this age is at this point of time your static, you know, attribute. This age is a static attribute. Age is static at this moment. Okay, so here object 1, object 2 and object 3. At here 20 you were setting, 30 you were setting, and 40 you were setting. Here if you are going to print the value, so let me make it first simple. Just I'm going to keep this one, object 1 only. Okay, and here I'm going to keep the object 1 only. In the first statement, object 1 is 20 I'm writing. Second statement, object 1 is 30 I'm writing, and object 1 is 40 I'm writing it over here. Okay, so 3 different types of assignment I'm doing for the single variable. So can you tell me this particular what the object 1 age is going to have the latest value?
40, the last one.
Yeah, it is going to have the latest value as a 40. Why? Because your object is same, right? Your object is same. Now now I'm keeping this different object. This is object 2, this is the object 3. Now my question to you, what will be the object 1 value? See, this is your first statement in the program, this is the second statement in your program, and this is the third statement. Means first you have written this one, second this one, and third this one. What will be the value of age will be present? You know, can you tell me? Age is static. Okay,
40 only.
all these 3 places, right?
Yes.
Why?
Why? Because there are 3 different instances, right?
Yeah, 3 different
three-
instance.
3 different memories.
So yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Mhm.
So what it will print? The value 20, 30, or 40. Let's come here. Okay, let's come
40.
here. Here you give me the answer. Fine. So 3 different I'm going to create. Control D, Control D. So 2 and 3 over here. Okay, and now 3 object also I have created, right? Just here defining the name and here creating the object. Okay,
Okay.
now this demo 2 is having this 30 over here, and demo 3 is having the 40 over here, and gv underscore
Three.
age
Has to be 3. Demo 3.
yeah, just one second, I will correct that. Yes,
Okay.
gv underscore age is what? A static attribute. Okay,
Mhm. Yeah.
this is a static attribute. Okay, So before asking the answer, I will give you the idea that a static attribute will always pointing to the same memory. Okay, so and then you will give the answer once your concept will be there, you know. So let's suppose this is the memory. So if age is present here, if age, you know, this object age, this also will be pointed, the same object 2 will be pointing the same age, and object 3 will be also pointing the same age. If this age is defined as a static attribute, you know, a static means static, not dynamic, right? A static means something which is
No changes.
yeah, not changes, right? So its memory is not going to change. It is, all these objects are going to point you the same memory, same memory. But in instance attribute, if you have this age is as an instance attribute, then 3 different memory will be created. If age is instance, then what will happen, you know, the 3 different age will be created, you know. So 3 different age will be created. In case of instance, 3 different memory location will be created, and object 1 will be pointing this object, object 2 will be pointing this age, and object 3 will be pointing this age, right? So this is the case when, this is the case when your age is what? This is the case when your age is instance. Very good. When your age is instance, 3 different memory it will take. 3 different memory. If the age is instance, and if just give me a second. Sorry. No, I should have to select the no.
Copy the other square.
Yeah, just I'm looking for no field. Yeah, here. So here, you know, this is what we have for the static one. Okay. For a static one, you can see that for a static one, for this static attribute, it's pointing to the same. But for the instance, so in 2 different scenario, 2 different behavior. Now you have to tell the answer. This GV underscore age, keep your chat box open. You have to be interactive. Okay. Check the syntax. Fine, we'll correct that.
Demo 3.
Here GV underscore age, yeah, it's demo 3. Okay. GV underscore age is the static attribute. So as per the concept, it will be having the same memory pointing. Okay. It is going to point you all these three, demo 1 also same, demo 2 also same, and demo 3 also pointing to the same memory. So now when I'm trying to print the value, okay, now you have to tell. Yeah, now you have to tell when I'm trying to print the value. Let me comment all these things over here for a time being. And here I'm trying to print this particular value. Or let me start with this. Okay, copy this. 2 and this is 3. Full stop.
Okay.
Pretty printer. Check the syntax. Can you tell me what it is going to print? See, the very, for all these cases, it is going to print what? Right here in your chat box, the answer for all these. For three output should be there. 3 output should be there. Lakshmi is telling 40, 40, 40. Other people,
yeah,
just write your answer in the chat box. Right. Yeah. Can you please write your answer in the chat box, please? 3 answers, 3 printing should be there, right? Oscar, Ajay, You know how the Venkat has written 20, 20, 20, like that you have to write three print, it will be there, right? Ranga is telling 20, 20, 20. Julio is telling 20, 40, 40, 40, right? 20, 30, 40. Fine. So Oscar is 40, 40, 40. So here, see, I think you're not getting the concept. So once again, try to understand and then you give me the answer. Okay. Then you give me the answer. So here, first value will be what here? 20 in this particular memory location, right?
Okay.
And second, this 30 will be what?
Overridden.
So this 20 will be overwritten, will be what? This 30, right?
Yeah.
And now this 30 is again overwritten with 40. So at this memory location, what is the value you have? You have the 40, right?
Yeah.
So everything, all this object is pointing 40, 40 and 40 only. Latest value, it will be always pointing to the latest value. So object 1 will be also pointing the latest value. Object 2 will be also pointing, because the memory location is same, right? Memory location is same. So that's the reason what it will print the value. Now you tell me your answer if you understood the concept. Very
40,
good. 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, right?
Yeah.
Right? 40, 40, 40. Mediconda, can you correct your answer? Or if you have any doubt, just let me know over here. No, it should be 40, 40, 40, because at that particular memory location, only 40 is there, right? Only 40 is there.
Pankaj,
Fine.
I have one doubt. So here we created three different objects, right? Three different objects will be created, three different memory. So how can it will be overwrite from one object to other?
Very good question. Very good question. See, just 1 second. I will give your answer. See, this Geo Demo 1, this Geo Demo 1 is the instance object and it will be having its own memory.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
But GV underscore age is the static, right? So inside this somewhere some static value will be there, right? Again, the GV demo 3, it will again create some another memory, okay? And Geo demo 3, this will again create some another memory. But because this is a static, so this will be shared by all these three different memory. Getting the point?
Yeah.
Got it now?
Yeah, I understand the point myself, but the question I'm trying to understand, you said at one time you can use both. And
Yes.
because if you are saying you can use both, I thought myself that really you can instantiate the whole program and you can also make the whole program static. And that's the big con, let us say, of the object-oriented. So if the compiler has been produced here to make, that means this one here, he has to look to all the variables that they are running at the program at the same time. And if there is one variable called age, he will stock everything in that age, regardless of the program.
Yeah, that's where we have the different options given, right? So we have to choose the different option based upon our requirement, okay? Based upon, so if the functionality is given and if we are going to use the functionality in the different way, obviously, like, you know, it is going to create the mess, right? And that's the reason, like if one does not understand the concept fully of the object-oriented programming, you know, it is really going to create a huge mess, right? Instead of having the benefit, they are going to end up with the loss. Okay, so fine. Now one more thing over here. See, as I told you, this is your static. You can, a static variable will be also accessed through the class name itself. So this is the class name. Okay, this is the class name, and here gv underscore age equals to 50. And now I'm trying to print what it's going to give me the value. The concept which just I have told you, right? It's always pointing you to the same memory, right? So latest value will be what? 50. So what will be your output?
Whole 50.
Yeah, your output will be 50. Okay, your output will be 50. Hope you understood the concept, what I'm trying to tell you over here. Static will always allocate this, means if some attribute is static, all the objects, everything is pointing to the same memory location. So here if you print the output 50 50 50, you can see that 3 times write statement I have written. This also, if you want, you can put it. So now 50 50 50 50 50, right? So 50 will come 4 times, right? Now the same gv underscore age, I'm going to make what? Instance attribute, and now you have to tell me your answer. Now you have to tell me your answer. Keep open your chat box, and just give me your answer. So methods also, I'm going to make it instance. Check it. So now it's instance, and in case of instance, what will happen? 3 different memory will be allocated. No one is going to be interfere with others. Okay, no one is going to interfere with others. Everyone is having its own separate memory area. Now in this case, see, because I have made the instance variable, instance will not be able to access like this, right? Will it will give me error. Are you agree with me? Is it going to give me the error, this particular stuff, or not? I've just made this one as an instance. So will it give me the error or not?
Yeah, because it's
Yes.
instant,
Yeah,
right?
right. It will give me the error, right? Yes, very good. Very good. Super. So this is going to give me the error. So if you check the syntax, it is telling that this attribute can only be specified with a static, right? So it will be giving me the error. So what I will do, I will comment, right? And here also I will comment, and this also I will comment. But can you tell me what will be the output? Just right here in the chat box. Anand has given 20, 30, 40, 50. Very good. 20, 30, 40, 50. Very good. You got the concept now. Boom. Thank you. Okay. You got the concept, right? 3 different memories. So obviously it is going to print the 3 different value. And with this, we are going to end up our today's session. If you have any doubt, feel free to ask, or else we can leave. You will be getting the assignment with the team, and you can ask the question in case if you get any doubt in the tomorrow after the session. You can ask for the assignment if you have any doubt. Any question?
When we can get the assignment?
Team will be sending you. Team will be
Okay.
sending. Okay.
Pankaj, one quick question. This is Santosh.
Yes.
Question is like, what is the structure? Like, what are we expected to learn, and what kind of assignments are we going to do in the next 20 days?
You would have already got this one, right? Means you would have. Let me just stop the recording. Just give me a second.